Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another upgrades video. In today's upgrades video, we are taking a look at the Velocity Firearms VMAC 9. I wanted to give a quick shout out to this video's sponsor, which is Seal One. Seal One makes a wide variety of firearms maintenance supplies, including a bio-based and non-toxic CLP paste and liquid. I have been using Seal One for years. Their CLP works great. They also have a wide variety of stuff, including circular pre-saturated cleaning wipes. They have bow care products, and they even have a sub-zero temperature bio-based non-toxic CLP. Furthermore, they have given me a very substantial discount code for you guys to use. If you click the link down in the description and at checkout in the discount code section, type in FF-25. That's FF-25. It will not only let them know that you came there from my video, but it will also give you 25% off their order. I greatly appreciate their support on my channel. The Velocity VMAC 9. Man, this has been making the rounds on my Firearm Freedom social media pages more recently. It's popped up on Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, and the photos have been quite a bit of fun. A lot of people are asking questions. A lot of people are curious because there's just not a ton of information on the VMAC 9 still, even though they've been around for a number of years now and they're incredibly affordable. So I have been doing a few upgrades in recent months, and I'm very excited to start this video series on multiple upgrades that I'm making to the Velocity here. As a side note, I don't know what the future of my channel looks like here on YouTube. Kit Badger just got deleted from YouTube. That's a huge deal. That guy had a great channel, and a lot of other folks, myself included, are getting strikes. So if you want to make sure that you're never going to miss out on this content, or if this channel goes away, God forbid, check out the Rumble page that I made. It is going to mirror my YouTube account, so any video that I have posted in the past, I'm currently uploading about daily over there, and it's just going to continuously mirror the channel. So there will always be content over there, and it seems to be a relatively free platform. That will be pinned down in the comment section, so check out the Rumble, and this video will be over there pretty soon. What prompted this upgrade session on the VMAC 9? Well, it was primarily the Midwest Industries lightweight micro folding stock here. Midwest Industries, full disclosure, they sent me this stock to check out. I let them know that I'm going to be doing an upgrades video on the VMAC, and I was running the stock a little bit on my M92, my Yugo M92 AK, and on that it left a little bit to be desired simply because it's designed as a super compact lightweight stock with a short butt pad here in the back that is metal. Of course, on something like a 9mm, that is no issue at all, or a 5.56, no problem at all with recoil. But on a 7.62x39 short platform like that, what ended up happening is it turned into a little meat bashing hammer here in the back, and it was not super comfortable because you wanted to, like, your body was immediately putting it high, and it ended up just nailing you on that lower section of the stock. So ultimately, it was originally for this Velocity VMAC 9, and now here it sits. This stock was also made possible on the Mac here by the Stormworks adapter. Now, Stormworks was nice enough to send me the adapter for this video, and it is pretty phenomenal. So how does this adapter work? Well, essentially, there is a small hole in the bottom of your Mac receiver there, and it only uses a little screw that once you take the gun apart, the screw goes down and simply threads into that adapter. And that gives you, as you guys can see there, a Picatinny rail section that's going to fit very, very close to the receiver itself. The issue with Mac 11 clones out there on the market is that you have a wide variety of different manufacturers. You have the Masterpiece Arms, Velocity, you have Cobra back in the day, and a wide variety of other different pop-up manufacturers that made Mac 11 clones all throughout the past few decades. What comes along with that is different, ever so slightly different, sizing things here in the back of this receiver. I did have to, once again, give a shout out to my bearded gunsmith friend that is becoming a staple here in the B-roll of these videos to help me out with fitment on this, so we had to file a good bit off the inside of the adapter in order to make it fit. And I think that was primarily due to the welds here on the back of the VMAC receiver. It was ever so slightly there. It took a little bit of filing, and then this slid right on. Now, as a point to Stormworks, I think they made an incredible adapter here. It is phenomenal in every way. It's truly excellent for the money. But I would like to see a coating put on it from manufacturing. This came essentially with a bare aluminum. Now, could you keep it just that bare blasted aluminum? Sure, without a doubt. But it was definitely just, it was one of those things that didn't look the best, and it felt a little bit unfinished to me. And for the price tag that this is at, I would much prefer it just to be somewhat coated with just something, whether it's a quick cold blue or it is Cerakoted like we ended up doing here. So this is, of course, not the coloring that came on it. It was just the bare aluminum, and we blasted it and Cerakoted it. I can't remember the exact gray that we Cerakoted this. I think it was just gunmetal gray or something like that, and it blended perfectly with the parkerizing on the Mac here. So this worked out great. No issues at all there. You guys will notice that maybe my sight picture on my cheek weld looks a little strange throughout the shooting of this VMAC 9. And the reason for that, and this is typical with any Mac stock that's out there, even the traditional collapsing stocks that went into the receiver itself, you're just not going to get a sight picture. I know that's tough to understand, but when we're looking at an 80s blaster like this, it's not really designed to be a super accurate gun, and that is the case here. You can see that I am bordering just flush with the bottom of the Picatinny there, and you just cannot see the rear sight whatsoever. You would have to just essentially squish your eyeball down on this in order to see that sight, and it's just not practical. So you can lower the stock one additional notch and actually get the rear sight aperture, but then it looks a little funky. It's just kind of hanging off. So Stormworks also makes a clamp-on rear sight pick rail mount that I'm going to be getting, and I'm going to throw a small pistol style red dot on that pick rail, and that's going to give me a sight picture. So that's the only upgrade that I'm waiting on to complete this package and make it just incredible, and hopefully those will come back in stock relatively soon. I know that's kind of a hot item at Stormworks, so I'm waiting, communicating with them, seeing when those are going to come back in stock to complete this build. The awesome thing about this Midwest lightweight stock is that on this build, it is side folding, of course, and you can see that when we fold it, I can fit this thing in a backpack, in a bag. Hell, I can throw it under my jacket, and you cannot even see it's there with a fully loaded magazine and a suppressor, which we'll be talking about in a bit. So it works incredibly well, and as far as how it handles recoil, because it's 9mm and really not that much recoil at all, it is phenomenal. This stock completely changes the dynamic of this Mac, and it's really not too expensive. It also gives you a QD sling point here in the rear, so running a single point sling, which is realistically what I would run on this, it works actually really well and ultimately is a great package. Moving forward, you guys are going to notice some duct tape, and I'm not covering anything super specific here. It is just simply holding in this pin in the rear. Unfortunately, at some point when I was carting it around in my bag or whatever, there's a little C-clip here that flew off. Not the end of the world. Those are available out there in most hardware stores, so we're currently right now finding one that's going to fit, and we're going to pop it on there. But until then, just a strip of duct tape there kind of goes with the look. Not a huge deal, and it's holding in that pin just fine. It's kind of funny, but what I was able to do in order to get a freaking sight picture was use the charging handle here. So it's notched out in order to still allow you the ability to see the sight picture. So what I did is I used this basically as a rear sight with like a ½ an inch of sight radius. So does it work? I mean, I will say that less than 15 yards and I can land hits on paper. Is it ideal? Is it fast? No. But the other option is just instinctively shoot and just kind of understand where those rounds are going. So this, for the moment, is actually working okay. And if you were looking to get a sight picture, that's about what I would do. Just ignore that entirely. And again, as I stated earlier, any of these stocks and adapters are going to cause this problem. There's been a bunch of stocks over the years for Mac variations, and no matter what you do, you're going to run into that sight picture issue. Normally, these stocks would be on machine guns and because of that, you're just kind of letting it rip and you're understanding where the rounds are going off instinctive shooting. So I'm not really harping on that too much here, and once I get that scope mount here on the back, it's going to be no issues at all. So this is working for the time being. I just got to kind of shoot it up close. On the grip, I got some Goon tape here. Of course, Goon tape has been an awesome company. Yes, it's basically hockey tape, but their marketing is great, the company's cool, and I really appreciate their support on the channel. They've sent me a little bit of tape here or there, and I pretty much throw it on everything, and it really has helped out on the grip. Any MAC variation, it's just such a sheet metal 80s gun that holding it is not the most comfortable thing. It's just when you're shooting a MAC variation, comfort is not the first thing on your mind, and that's just kind of what you have to understand. It's a lot more comfortable with the stock, but with that being said, the Goon tape really helped just kind of, I don't know, make it a little bit easier to hold on to this blocky 2x4 like grip on the bottom, and you just kind of grip it and rip, and it works out pretty well. Still rocking the Sten magazines here, and these are actually surplus Sten magazines. Brutal to load these magazines, but it works out okay. And then Masterpiece Arms / Tapco makes these polymer magazines, and they are semi-available out there still, I believe, on Masterpiece Arms website. And these magazines work okay. I would not keep them loaded for an extended period of time. These feed lips are known to give issues with that, especially if it's hot out or whatever. And the Sten magazines, if you're looking to use it for an actual defensive purpose, the original Sten mags, although hit or miss for reliability, are probably going to be your best bet. This strap up here, man, does it make the gun. It's crazy what a strap does to a Mac, and that is, it's this front strap here, and you can either simply stick your hand in it, or you can hold it and pull it down, and it looks like it'd be incredibly non-functional, but it holds a pretty good purpose. And when you're holding this gun, you can really just kind of rip it back like that, and it works a lot better on a full auto, but even on a semi, it is not a bad option. And it also works if you're 80s style, shooting from the hip and holding it from the side. Whatever you need to do, it works out well. But it's going to fit right on the end here, and this I actually got from Practical Solutions, I believe is the company. Great price, and they had it in stock. The most special upgrade I have coming soon on a video on the channel, and that is going to be the GSL MAC 9 suppressor, and that's what this adapter is doing up here. Very, very excited about this. That will be coming out to the range this weekend, so stay tuned for that, and you guys are going to be seeing and hearing how the MAC 9 suppressor from GSL works. And they're a really cool company. They make a lot of unique suppressors, and it was awesome to see a suppressor that's just specifically made for the threads on the Mac. It's got the heat shield that you can hold on to. It's got the 80s vibes, and I'm pretty pumped about that. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up very soon on the channel, and it will be a pretty fun review. How is the actual VMAC performing at the range currently? It's still performing incredibly well. I only had one malfunction that I saw at the range, and that was when my buddy accidentally grabbed the magazine on the bottom, and you're going to notice some play there, and if you grab that and pull it back, you're going to experience a failure to feed, and that's exactly what happened. But as long as you're not touching that magazine, this is an incredibly reliable gun, which I really appreciate. It is very tough to find nowadays an identical clone to a MAC 11. I'm not a fan of the Masterpiece Arms guns. I get their practical ability of the Mac, but I just don't like the look. It looks a little bit hokey to me, a little bit gooberish with all the Grim Reapers and stuff everywhere. I love the MAC 11 for the original old school 80s blaster style, and that's exactly what Velocity Firearms provides here. They are giving you an identical clone. Is it the most ergonomic gun? Is it the best with side charging and pick rails and all these other things? No. But if you are looking for an identical clone, they're going to provide this for you, and it's ridiculously reasonable. They're coming in at like $399. I paid full retail for this. I don't have affiliations with Velocity Firearms. They are out and about, but I know they're harder to find these days with just shortages and other things. But this variation is phenomenal. They also do the exact same gun in 45 for a representation of a MAC 10, and I was very impressed with the reliability of the gun, and overall, it's running great, and it is a blast to shoot this thing at the range. I'm really, really excited to see how it sounds with the suppressor. That is going to wrap up this upgrades video on the VMAC 9. 9. If you guys have any other questions about this gun or anything else on the channel, please throw them down below in the comment section. You guys know I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for links to support the channel. And as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.